Ladies and gentlemen, comedian, entertainer, now storyteller, Daniel Songer.
Hello, comedian, entertainer, Daniel Songer. And I mentioned to you on my last show that I have been writing poetry for 20 years, and actually longer than that, like 32 years. 12 years I have been up here on stage giving joy to the whole world through my stand-up comedy. Comedy entertainment, that's what I call it. And I am here to announce that I am retiring, that this will be my last show on the Dan Poet Man Show. And this show is titled Story Act 271, The Sun. And this is probably one of the greatest literary achievements I've ever done. And it's a story about a Christmas miracle. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And this is the story. It's called The Sun. We all have 364 days to get ready for the greatest day of the year, Christmas Day. I was given 364 days to write a story about a Christmas miracle. There was a family that lived in a small town, and all of the people exercised Christian values. The town grew by generation to generation of evolving philosophy and the expansion of mind and body. Like any town, the boys and girls wanted to experience the true meaning of love. James and Caroline met at the age of 15 and fell in love. After 1 month, Caroline began constantly vomiting. She told her mom and dad of her illness, and they took her to their family doctor. After the doctor's examination, it was discovered that Caroline was pregnant. Because of Caroline's parents' Christian values, they did not want anyone to find out the condition of their daughter. So Caroline was immediately sent to a school for wayward girls. After 2 weeks, James became very concerned about Caroline due to he had not seen her at school. So James went to Caroline's house. James asked Caroline's parents if he could talk to Caroline. Caroline's parents told James that Caroline does not want to see him and he is not welcome around here. The next day, James again went to Caroline's house and asked for Caroline. Her parents told James that Caroline moved out of the state to live with her aunt. Caroline never wanted to know the sex of the baby, and when the baby was born, it was immediately put up for adoption. Caroline continued her education at the school for wayward girls, and at the age of 18, she graduated. Caroline then returned home to her family. It was a matter of days when Caroline ran into James, and James asked, "Where have you been for the last 3 years?" Caroline told James about her pregnancy and that he was the father. Caroline also told James her parents sent her to a school for wayward girls and the baby was put up for adoption. James and Caroline began to rekindle the passion and desires that they had for each other at the age of 15. And soon their destiny became clear to become man and wife at the age of 19. James dreamt about having a son, so Caroline became pregnant almost immediately. When their child was born through holy matrimony, it was a beautiful angel girl. James and Caroline decided to try again for a son, and 1 year later, another lovely daughter was born. James and Caroline continued this pursuit of conception for a total of 5 princess daughters. James then suggested to his lovely wife, Caroline, let's adopt a son. James and Caroline went to the adoption agency and filled out the documentation to adopt a son of their own. 1 year later, the adoption agency contacted James and Caroline with the great news. They had found a son for James and Caroline. However, the boy had been through many foster homes, and the foster families did not want the boy. James and Caroline was overjoyed and gladly accepted the adoption of the boy. This in itself was a great Christmas gift to the family of James and Caroline and their 5 princess daughters. Caroline implemented excellence within her family and became concerned with her son's future health. Caroline sent away for her son's DNA to reveal all history of health concerns. When the DNA results were returned to Caroline, she discovered that her adopted son was her biological son. And when Caroline told James of her discovery, all of James' dreams came true. And the family from a small, small town became the greatest Christmas miracle. That's the end of Daniel Songer, Dan Poet Man Show. This is the end, my friends. I enjoyed being up here on stage for 12 years. And my goal was to create so much happiness in this world because right here in my heart, I love you all. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And I'm leaving you with this. Be the best. Be the best that you can. To be the best. To be the best. You are the best. Love you all. And thank you. Writer Daniel R. Songer.